Yes, team. Welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. It's Friday. We are back with an hour of dedicated FPL chat with our absolute faves out there, the Chasers. Hello to all of you. And also another one of my personal faves, Mr. Dean Jones. Dean, how are you, mate?
That's very kind, mate. Hello. Thank you. I'm very well. I am just looking through the comments. I can see Solanke already being referred to as So Blanky. And I can see that that's going to definitely be a narrative that will open up if Solanke fails to score in this double header that he's got, everyone captaining him. It is Solanke season, as I just tweeted, and this is something very, very important to most of us. Cam was on the chat half hour early. Cameron says, oops, me and Daisy are here half hour early. We'll pop back after she's had her milk and I've made a sandwich. CH says, love that. Daisy is a chaser. Absolutely. Thanks for everyone jumping on the chat right now. We've got a solid hour here to prep our teams, take in your chip strategy suggestions, and also consider that massive match that could go a long way to deciding the Premier League title.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. It's a weird kickoff time again. Super Sunday last week was 3:30 UK instead of 4:30. And this week, I think it's 3:45.
Is it?
I'm like, yeah, it's not. Like, I don't know what's happened to that 4:30 Sky slot that they're playing around with. I don't know. Last week was the derby, Manchester derby. So maybe it was because of, like, I don't know, more drinking time.
3:45. Mother's Day. Maybe it's something to do with Mother's Day.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But don't forget to buy your mum a Mother's Day card. Yeah. How are you shaping up, mate? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I am committing to a chip strategy this week. I kind of did last week. This is the week you have to kind of know your strategy team. So there are three options in the poll. There's one of three there. The other three. If you are going for an other strategy, just let us know in the comments. I will bring up now Ben Crellin's ticker just to quickly run through those three strategies. And some of you will be sick of hearing this. Others will be going, this is really useful info. So look, guys, give me 90 seconds, maybe 60. Strategy 1, right, is the top of the charts on that poll. It's to free hit in game week 29. This is what I'm doing. And then it's to wildcard in either 35 or 36, which allows you in 34 for the double to dead end your team. You might buy players like Newcastle or Man United players and then wildcard them out in 35, 36. Bench boost in the biggest double of the season, 37. Strategy number 2 is to dead end in the next couple of weeks. So in game week 29, you maybe get 8 or 9 players out. You might have your triple Luton, for example, but then you wildcard outside of that. So in game week 30, 31, off the back of dead ending your team into that blank 29, you wildcard. And then again, it's free hit 34 for a double game week, which will have some interesting doubles. And then bench boost in the big one in 37. And then the final big strategy is to wildcard this week. And if you're doing that, and if you're wildcarding this week or you're wildcarding in 30, 31, you definitely do not need to use your free hit as well, right? Do not spunk those 2 chips in those 2 weeks. So if you're wildcarding this week, you're not free hitting in 29. If you're wildcarding in 30, you're not free hitting in 29. I do not like those strategies. So you wildcard this week, and then you've got a good team all the way through to game week 34, where you've probably free hit, because the players that double in 34 aren't ones that will be in your team. Newcastle, Sheffield United, Man United. But your team will still be well set up for a bench boost in 37. I like all 3 of those strategies. It's team dependent. Let us know where you guys are going.
Yeah, I mean, my plan had been free hit 29, wildcard 31. Like that's what I had in mind. Even last week. So I'll try a little rethink.
Don't let me completely stop you doing that. But if you do that, because I don't think you're the only one, Dean. Like, I think we've got a good friend that maybe is looking at a similar strategy, right? Yeah. If you do that, then the whole point of wildcarding 30-31 is that you'll have a fairly bad team. because that's when you wildcard. You wildcard when you've got a fairly bad team. And the only reason you should have a bad team is if you've been buying players that have a fixture in 29. Like you've gone triple Luton, for example, or you've been buying 2 or 3 Aston Villa players and you've got, a West Ham player or 2. Like the teams that play in 29, I think aren't necessarily good teams other than Villa and Spurs. So there should be no need to wildcard off the back of that.
No, you're right. Yeah. No, you're right. ISG Dean, play your own game, mate. Honestly, the amount of times this season I've been swayed by these shows, and then like what I originally had in mind would have been fine. You're right, ISG. I do need to be my own person. Yeah. So let's see if I can stick to what's going on in my own head, because I do definitely need to consider that. Looks like the spammers might be back today, so please ignore stupid comments that arrive today. Just
what's with that?
The producer will try to stop the bots or whatever's going on.
Not easy job. Yeah. Let's just get a feel for. By the way, guys, 52% of you get voting have gone with the strategy that I'm on. They're looking to free hit in 29, but look, 28% are looking to dead end in 29 and wildcard off the back of it. Can we just do one poll question more for Dean and our good friend who were looking at a strategy that I've just said is crazy, and I might be completely wrong. So let's just have a look. Do we? Okay, the question needs to be: do we hate the idea of wildcard 29? Sorry, do we hate the idea of free hit 29, wildcard 30-31? Yes or no? And I just want to know if you lot are thinking more like me or perhaps like Dean and our good friend.
Yeah.
Like, is it? Do you hate the idea? Like, no one's saying you got to love the idea or do it. Just tell them if you think it's bonkers.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm just trying to find out what difference this game makes being at 3:45 in the comments, because Geddy said it's understood the Mersey police force requested for the game to start at 3:45 over fears of fan safety. That's why it's at that time. But I've said, what does that stop? I get it. If you move a game to 12 o'clock and it stops people from drinking much before the game and something like that, then I understand it. Or if there's problems getting home, then I understand it. But Manchester and Liverpool, like I can't see too many reasons in terms of travel. And you can certainly still drink plenty before 3:45 in the afternoon. FPL Rowie says, I haven't got tickets to the game, but I'm going to the stadium to meet the coach in.
Oh, yeah, to meet the coach. Okay, to greet players off the bus.
Where are you going to watch the game, Rowie? Like, how far do you live near the stadium?
Live proper close,
how close do you live to Anfield to be doing that? Like that really intrigues me. So yeah, just a couple of things I wanted to address there that are away from the actual FPL chat. CH pre-drinking isn't that what 9 a.m. is for. Yeah, I personally try to steer away from 9 a.m. drinking, CH. It has been known, don't get me wrong, especially on my way to Cheltenham races or something like that. But it's
sick by Swindon if you're on your way to Cheltenham races. That's the plan. Always get sick by Swindon on the train.
Oh mate, I do miss that. Our annual trips to Cheltenham when I was younger were brilliant. But yeah, some major hangovers were had along the way there.
I used to work at the Cheltenham races, and my halls of residence at uni literally looked out onto the race course. So I was also a regular in my younger years.
We got thrown out actually at Cheltenham races one year. Yeah, because in like the tents around, you have that outside part where there's like a concourse and then you have the tents of bars basically, and there was like a chandelier type thing, and one of my mates decided to hang off of one. And we got escorted out of Cheltenham that year. Oh
my god,
we probably saved us some money really on losing on bets. British says he can see Leighton Orient's floodlights from the window. Rowie says, I live near Leeds. It's the biggest game of the season. These memories will live forever. Going to a pub near the stadium afterwards to watch it with a bunch of locals. That sounds awesome. Yeah, it's a very cool way to watch it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'm really excited for that game. And yeah, proper occasion. We'll talk a little bit more about that particular match later in the show. So stay tuned for that. Dean, you'll be pleased to know. And I genuinely was hoping this was going to be the vote because, my opinion is only what loads of content creators will just regurgitate these top 3 strategies, which feel so obvious. Yeah. But FPL should be about completely playing your own game. And from someone that's outside of the kind of the hardcore community, Dean. Like you're on the edges of the FPL community online and stuff.
Yeah.
And with that, you don't get the tunnel vision that sometimes we get, which is a bad thing that we get it. So
Yeah.
you get to sometimes see bigger picture and therefore be completely independent with your chip strategy. You'll be pleased to know 52% of the chat, they do not hate the idea of that plan that you've got. So it's a pretty split, right? Which
Yeah,
goes
I'm
to
happy
show
with that.
maybe you should run with it.
Yeah, I'm happy with that response. And like you say, I do try. Look, there are a couple of shows that I dip in and out of. I am liking FPL Harry's content, I have to say. I think that he's done an amazing job of building out. But so there's little things. And do you know what as well? Like, and the problem I have with my YouTube at home is that my kids watch it. So like I can start to watch shows and they just get lost and I forget that I was starting to get used to watching them. So that is annoying because I suddenly start getting subscriptioned up for some bloke who like flips prime bottles or something on the daily, and I lose all my FPL channels. But yeah, it does sometimes help. But I mean, you would look at my points total from this season and say, well, it hasn't helped you that much because you're not doing that well. I have dropped to the million mark again, which is really, really annoying because I'd got up to like 600,000 a couple of weeks ago and I've just had a drop off. And to be honest, it's almost purely because I don't own Saka. So that's my fault. I was a bit stubborn on that one as usual. Somebody just asked me how my beer and curry league is going. Well, it was going much better than it is now. I was in the top 3 and I've dropped down to 7th now, only 40 points off of getting back into the beer money. But I shouldn't be paying for the curry, I don't think. Let me just have a look.
7th of how many? So is it right that
12,
the bottom 2 pay for the curry?
12 in the league. The bottom 3 pay. I think the bottom 3 pay for the curry.
Okay, as long as you finish outside in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm 60 odd clear of the bottom 3, and 2 of them are like dead and buried and barely pay any attention. The guy who's bottom is a professional footballer, and he is like way bottom, like embarrassingly.
What league does he play in?
Plays in League 2 now. But yeah, he's a really good. He's been a player for like 20 years. He's brilliant in terms of what he's done, and he knows an amazing amount about football and stuff. And the decisions he makes in FPL, it's great to look at his team every week. It's just baffling.
He's not on chip strategy 1, 2, or 3. I'll tell you that.
No, I'll tell you what, mate. The guy who's no, you won't even know that chip strategies exist. I can promise you that. Top of my league, my mate Jamie Beero. He's got 20 points more than you.
Behave.
And
I'll see him on game week 38.
Yeah, mate, I'm so tempted to try and get him on this show because he is consistently so good at this game.
Yeah,
and does not look at any FPL content, and like he absolutely adamant he doesn't. He watches what he watches. He makes decisions based on what he's seen and what his gut tells him. And I'm extremely jealous,
mate. I relate to that. That was me before I started having a Twitter account and making content. Like my ranks were way better when I just did 10 minutes on a Friday.
Were they?
Crazy. Yeah. And
Would
it was
you
from being
taking a year out of FPL content to see if you get back there?
I'd love to. I honestly, he is probably where I was at 7-8 years ago, and he could, because he clearly has had good ranks of late, like as you say, consistently up there.
Yeah.
If he wanted to go and write a book about FPL or be on the FPL show, which was my journey in those 2 things, it was because I was like, look, here's my ranks. I'm good at FPL, but I just don't talk about it anywhere. And someone's like, oh, maybe you should. He's probably the same, although his ranks, like mine, will probably get worse as he starts talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, isn't it? You put more pressure on yourself. You start to pay attention to what the crowd are doing. What year did you start watching content? That's a good question for you.
I didn't start, fella, until I had to promote my book. It was literally, the book was published, I don't know, 5 years ago. And I then went, oh, I'll get a Twitter account. Oh, I'm now on the FPL show, so I guess I should do like some other bits. But I still, to this day, don't watch a single YouTuber FPL. Like I like to keep my content as original as possible. I'll occasionally listen to one podcast on a drive to the FPL show for extra research, 1 or 2, like the likes of Black Box and The Wire, I think are brilliant. But again, I'm not a weekly listener to those guys. because otherwise
Yeah.
you just regurgitate.
100%.
You're real. You do that. You must see the same in football stuff all the time, Dean. Like if you go and listen to loads more other football podcasts and ranks, it's like before you know it, you're just repeating what they say.
Well, in the transfer world, it's the same. Like I'll see, I obviously know 90% of the guys that write about transfers, and a lot of us are mates and stuff. And it's tough because you see someone put out a rumor, you check it out. You don't all want to be writing the same stuff, but once it starts to gain momentum, there's pressure on you to at least get a line on that player or that rumor, and you do all end up in the end writing all the same stuff across the same few days. It's just a case of like making sure you back the right deals. So it is very similar, to be fair. Sean says it's hitting crunch time. Different chips will be used in the next few weeks. Yeah, Sean, we've just gone through some ideas from G on chip strategies. We've done a couple of polls early doors here. So if you have only just jumped on, make sure you go back to the start at the end of the hour here, and you'll see G's advice or tips on what you should probably be contemplating.
Just a nice guy. Good to see you. Great question this week, and it is top of many people's lists. If you're free hitting in 29, like me, and maybe like Dean, then you can definitely legit go and buy Bournemouth players this week. And by doing that, not only do you get a brilliant double game week, and by the way, Sheffield United and Luton have the worst defensive away records in the league. Neither of them have kept a clean sheet this season. You get good fixtures this week. Then they don't play in 29. That's fine because you're free hitting. But then in 30 and 31, they've got Palace at home, Everton at home. Bournemouth are a good team to invest in, right? So because of that, the question is, do you have Solanke plus... Right, everyone's going to have Solanke. If you have three, everyone's going to have Solanke and a defender or goalkeeper. So then the third guy, should they be a midfielder in Tavernier or Kluivert, or should you go double defense? Or could you go double attack with Semenyo? The question for many, or the answer for many, will be it's way easier to accommodate a defender in their team. And spots are precious. And therefore, if you're looking at defenders, Zabani is the safest. He hasn't missed a minute all season. I bought him last week. But this week, I am buying another Bournemouth defender who does offer a little bit of upside, but could be subject to rotation later in the season when Lloyd Kelly is back fit. And again, I don't have a timeline on that, but that is Kirkez. He has a little bit of attacking threat. He's a fullback. But none of the Bournemouth defenders really offer upside. Senesi was the best option. He scored a few headers this season. He's out injured.
So I did get Zabani in.
Nice. 6 points. Bang.
I also got Neto in goal.
Oh, love that. See, I think Neto is probably better than all the defenders.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it here, because if this goes well and I've doubled what I could have had in that area, then it's given me some sort of edge for this game week. So I went for it, and I'm going to have to live or die on it for now. But after that conversation we had the other day about there being no good midfield picks really from Bournemouth, ideally I would have gone there, and I probably would have gone Kluivert, I think, if I was to do it.
Same.
But I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, me neither. I think the Neto pick, by the way, guys, he has had save points in each of his last 5 games. Like, he regularly clocks more than 3 saves, getting him an additional point. So when he clean sheets, he doesn't get 6 points. When he clean sheets, he'll get 7 or even more with bonus. And again, he's done well for bonus when he's kept clean sheets. So if it works for your team, getting Neto over a defender, I think, is the optimal move. For my team, I like my keepers, but 2, my issues are in defence. So I'm going Kirkez as well as Sabani. I think we had a question there about Saka. Do we have a question about Saka? I think I missed it. Who do you bench this week? BKG. We'll get to more team-specific questions later, but top line on that, I'll show you my team in team selection. I have benched one of these guys. Shander Char says, which defenders are essential from 30 to 33? Oh, good. I mean, look, Arsenal play Man City in 30, but come 31, double Arsenal defence straight away for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only place to go, isn't it? It's
the best.
They are the best. I mean, it just feels dependable, and I mean, it's gonna take a collapse for that to fail. And at the moment, we can't predict that. Things can change, sure, but as we see it right now, I think that is the best route to take. FPL Freddy's got a Fulham question. Look, I've got a Fulham mug right here. Look, Tom Kearney 10 signed.
That your son's favourite player, isn't it, Kenny?
It's Dylan's mug. Yeah, I just grabbed it as I made a quick cup of tea before we came on.
I didn't think it was actually yours, mate.
It should be mine. He's my favourite player as well. I love Tom Kearney. But yeah, the question was: is Muniz a good pick in free hit 29? And I said this the other day. Like I don't know, because I don't know that Muniz is definitely good. He's been very good for a month and a bit longer than a month, but I don't know how dependable this form is, because I've also seen him not show that form for over 2 years.
He scored 2 goals on loan at Middlesbrough last season in 17 games.
And any time he's played at Fulham, I mean, I haven't seen that. He's been a lot better for sure. But is Brozier going to stay on the bench for the rest of the season at Fulham? I find that hard to believe too, because and I feel like, well, Fulham will back their own player for sure. You'd rather boost confidence in Muniz than a player who's a Chelsea player. If Muniz was to come out of the game and Brozier goes in, gets a goal, starts the next game, scores another goal, Brozier's suddenly going to have the shirt. Like, yeah, Brozier is a better player than Muniz. Like, I would quite confidently say, but Brozier hasn't barely played football. He hasn't got any goals to show for himself, so he hasn't got any form. And at the moment, it's not in Fulham's interest to play Brozier. Nathan says Jimenez back as well now. Yeah, Jimenez back in training now, back coming into the frame. So it'll be interesting. So let's see. Let's come out this game week first, and then we'll assess Muniz. He can be a consideration for sure, because it's a good price point.
I think from the last... I think it's the last 5 game weeks, he averages something like 8.5 points a game, which is ridiculous. But we've seen this before with strikers in the Premier League that aren't very good, that go and have those months or 2-month periods when they're amazing. Was it Cisse at Newcastle once went on like an unbelievable sort of 3-month run? And it's like, was Cisse ever that good? No, probably not.
This is what strikers do, isn't it? So it's a confidence position, and that's what happens. And it's unlike any other area of the field. And when these guys are in this form, you back them. But as soon as it ends, that could be it, if they don't have the pedigree before that moment to show that it is consistent. And I guess that will be the issue with Muniz. But I've spoken to people around Fulham, and they're like, look, the guy is so happy right now. He's loving life. He's like enjoying the best moments of his career, and he don't want it to end. Like, he doesn't want this to be a flash in the pan moment. He wants to be Fulham's main man going forward. And if that's going to happen, he has to be consistent over the rest of this season, because there's no doubt Fulham will get a new striker in the summer.
Yeah, nice. We have got our teams coming up. We'll continue to be answering your questions. Fridays is all about Q&A, guys, but also we've got Against the Obvious. So stay tuned for that. Hit the like button. Subscribe to Chasing Green Arrows. If you're a lurker, feel free to come out into the chat and ask a question. 78% of you are going to own Solanke this game week. That's really interesting. Like, boy, if you're backing against Solanke, you've got to get lucky. Maybe if you've not got Solanke, you've got Morris instead, who again, I think could be an underrated pick this game week with a double. SJ says, would you -4 hit any of the double game week players other than Solanke? It depends what your chip strategy is. If you're free hitting in 29, I think a hit for a Bournemouth player, knowing their fixtures are so good in 30, 31, and now, like a hit for a Neto, I don't mind at all. So yeah, Gianni remembers that Cisse screamer against Chelsea at the Bridge. That's the exact effort I was thinking of when I was thinking how he was flying. What a half volley that was. Sort of volley with the outside of the boot, and it was just ridiculous, wasn't it? Yeah. Maybe at the end of the show or during, give us your hot takes of strikers that had unbelievable couple of months that actually weren't very good. I was going to say Juan Pablo Angel, but I actually quite rated him. He had one. I remember one season, Dean. He had so good. It was so good at the end of a season that Arsenal were so close to buying him, and it was like probably never that good.
And
Bar at Newcastle, the same, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't know. You probably won't remember this guy, but Fulham had a striker called Pavel Pogrebniak.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, and there was a period where he scored with every shot. He scored like five or six goals from 5 or 6 shots across like 3 or 4 games. It's like, oh my God, what have Fulham got it? And that was it. That was the end of it. And then like he's forgotten, gone and forgotten. Cult hero for that little spell. But yeah, everybody has him, don't they? Mikel
Oh,
Forsell,
Chelsea legend.
Michu was a good one at Swansea.
He got in the Spain squad, didn't he?
That was an insane one, Chris. Yeah, Michu was like.
Was it the opening day of the season at QPR? He went and got like a hat trick. Swansea were just promoted, and he like.
Was that Swansea? Was that when they were like playing under Brendan Rodgers?
I think it was. Yeah, Amir Zaki, like that, Dan. Was it Wigan? Yeah, there's a few. Keep them coming. We might not be able to mention all, but yeah, very good chat there. There's loads of examples. Chris Sutton, yeah, with Shearer at Blackburn, maybe. Gabbiadini, he's quality. Right, let's move on, shall we? Oh, by the way, hearing that, and press conferences are taking place at the moment, that Bell might be out for a while. And what that means at Luton, if Bell is out, is that Doughty, who's getting a lot of love, could be moved to left centre back. First half last week, that's where he played when Bell went off injured. But second half, Edwards went, we can't have our best creator at left centre back. And he moved Doughty to left wing back, and then the assist came and chances came. I would be very surprised if he played left centre back again, knowing he is such a good attacking outlet for them, even with the Bell injury.
Yeah.
Looks like Porro's available as well for Spurs, but Richarlison still nowhere near.
Yeah, Porro's an interesting one, isn't it? I've got him on my bench at the moment. I think I'd like to play him if I can. So let's see how that opens up. But yeah, that is an interesting update. McBride was the one I was thinking of. But
McBride.
McBride's not a flash in the pan. He's a Fulham legend.
A USA legend as well. How many caps did he get? Like 100?
Brian McBride was a phenomenon.
As was Graziano Pele. So please, guys.
Pele, yeah. Pele was an unbelievable footballer, the best looking man in football, and he had the most amazing girlfriend I've ever met in my life.
Oh, really?
Oh, mate, I remember going to interview him, and his girlfriend was standing there, and no one, like, everyone was just like, oh my days, like unbelievable. Very funny. But yeah, Pele.
He was really tall as well, wasn't he? Like 6'4", but and proper athlete.
He went. Can't remember where he
went.
went.
Whitley, didn't he?
Was it? Yeah, I remember he got a pretty cool move. I can't remember exactly.
Oh no, yeah, he didn't go to Italy. You're right. He got a big money move somewhere, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was 30.
Eludes me, but yeah, that man's had a good life. I can assure you of that.
Mate, I was. Do you remember Euro 2016 in France? Italy got to the quarters against Germany, went to extra time, then penalties. And Graziano, it was the Zaza one where he did that and it went over. But I was behind the goal in Bordeaux. The penalty before that, Graziano Pele did this to the goalkeeper. It's extra time. It's sudden death, and you're doing that to the keeper, and he dragged it wide.
Oh no!
I'd gone all the way to Bordeaux by myself on a train from St Pancras via Paris, had to underground, face paint and all. And then after the game, I was heading back to London. So I literally had 24 hours in Bordeaux, 2 like 10-hour train journeys to see Graziano Pele and Zaza F up their penalties.
Oh my goodness. That's no good.
And I had tickets to the semi-final, which I never got to go to.
Oh, you serious? Oh, mate. Heartbreaker. Bridget says you could be a Pele lookalike.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Yeah, no. Oh, he went to China, didn't he?
I think that's it. He did. He earned an absolute fortune, mate.
Yeah,
that's it.
He got 52 goals in 106 games at Shandong Luneng. And then he went back to Parma.
Absolute fortune in China. Yeah. That was it. That was the one. Thank you. I knew it was a bit of a strange move, but one that he'd done well out of, and that's exactly what it was.
It was the start of the kind of China buying everyone, like the Brazilians, like Ramirez and Oscar and stuff. And yeah,
yes, that's right. That's right. I can remember.
Saudi's not going to do the same as that, is it, Dean? Like Saudi's going to be a bit more sustainable and longer term than that.
It's going to be longer term for sure. Yeah. And, you know, they're helped at the moment because some of the players that are there are talking it up positively. Some of the players are genuinely enjoying it. Not all of them are. Like, not everyone's going to enjoy that experience. But, yeah, that's not a flash in the pan.
We're going to see our teams in just a sec. But before we do, and we're going to make sure we've got loads of time for questions today. And before we do, shall we hit everyone with our very, very wild against the obvious predictions? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Luis Bonilla from USA, where it's currently 5:35 a.m. I don't know what time zone that is in the States, has an overall rank of 4,000, and he's taken an -8 this week. Love that, Lewis. Well, thank you for watching. We don't see you often in the chat, so you
No,
catch us live too often, but
yeah,
welcome to the show.
absolutely. Look, I'm going to be living in America next season, so who
Yeah.
knows what time zone I'll be on when we're doing shows. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it next season. But part of me is already thinking like, am I doing 4 a.m. FPL shows, 5 a.m. FPL shows? Lewis clearly is over on the West Coast somewhere. So yeah, that's interesting. Matthew, where in the USD? I'm heading to San Diego, Matthew. So in the summer, I will be moving to San Diego, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty
I was
excited.
just doing some research yesterday for my day job. I'm talking to a football coach who works at San Diego Surfs, I think. San Diego Surfs. I don't know what level of club that is. Like, they don't have an MLS team, do they?
No, Sandy. Oh, well, we will. We will. I'm already embraced it. We have, got an MLS team coming next year. We are the next
Really?
franchise, San Diego FC, as is all go. Yeah. So Snapdragon Stadium from next year will be San Diego FC. They've got San Diego Wave, which is the women's team already playing there. The football scene's pretty good. I've got a few people from Ranks FC actually live in San Diego, so I'm in touch with a couple of people who are going to help me immerse in the culture. Do you know what? Also from San Diego, it's right on the border of Mexico. My closest team will actually, apart from the MLS team, will be Cholos Tijuana.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to have a local Mexican team, mate. So I'm going to.
That is so Ranks as well. You're going to be so like your Ranks ultras are going to love that.
It'll be about half hour from where I live, I reckon. You just get to the border, you walk through this little thing, jump in an Uber, and it's like 10 minutes away. It actually looks amazing. I mean, we're going completely off piece here. Against the obvious is that I'm not going to be traveling to Fulham matches from here anymore. I'll be traveling to Craven Cottage from San Diego. That's against the obvious.
There we go. I look forward to hearing more about your journey, mate. I'm buzzing for you. And yeah, I didn't know about San Diego joining the MLS. Are they just very quickly? Are they one of 1 or 2 or 3 teams joining the MLS, or is it just a one-off edition?
This is a one-off edition for now.
Nice.
It was out of San Diego and Las Vegas to get this spot, and San Diego won it. So there will be more to come, obviously. But yes, obviously the season's just begun, like last week for this MLS season. So the next one, which will begin in a year, San Diego will be in it. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm moving at a good time to jump on that bandwagon. Yeah.
Can be there for game 1. Right. Bournemouth this week are getting a lot of love, but I'm going to give you 60 seconds worth of reasons why not to pick this guy. Tavernier is, for me, a bit of a non-event of late. Like a month ago, when I was planning ahead, going, oh, I'm going to stack up on Bournemouth because they're going to have a double game week, blah, blah, blah. He was like top on my list. So I've watched him really closely in the last few games. And boy, is this guy out of form. Now, sure, you could get lucky and he could go and get a big haul this game week because the fixtures are absolutely there. But I think there are 3 better Bournemouth options. If I was picking, it would be Solanke plus 2 defenders or Neto. But if you do want a midfielder, Cliver offers way more goal threat. He scored 4 to Tavernier's 2. But also, in the last couple of games, he's looked way brighter. So sure, this guy's going to get 2 starts. He could get 2 sets of 90. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 2 or 3 pointers. And with that, I would look elsewhere this game week. I don't even think I'm going to fulfill the full final 10 seconds. But what do you reckon, Dean? Tavernier, he's clearly a good player. He's on set pieces. He's bright, but he's only scored 2 goals this season.
Yeah, against the obvious for a reason, I think. I don't think I'll be going there. I know why people are contemplating him right now. Because there aren't many Bournemouth players to genuinely consider. But I think the reasons that you spelled out there explains why you should probably just go against him at the last minute. So, yeah, I think you're right. That is one to go against. My one's a bit more controversial, I've got to say. Oh, here we go. Shall we flip it over? Because we've got a talking point here. My against the obvious is one of the greatest players in the world, Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh,
Look, this is a dilemma that so many people have got. You for sure, and me, kind of. You can start the clock if you want. This is a tough one, but the reason I've gone against the obvious is because for a lot of people, it's like De Bruyne or Phil Foden. Now, look, me personally, I don't have that dilemma. I don't have Phil Foden, so I'm not going to bring Foden in for him at this moment because I'm bringing in the Bournemouth guys. But there are a lot of reasons not to doubt Phil Foden in this game week. Phil Foden has been directly involved in 18 Premier League goals this season, 11 goals, 7 assists. That is his best ever campaign for Man City. Phil Foden, in the reverse fixture here, got 3 shots away on target, and he has 34 shots on target this season in the Premier League. Only 3 players in the whole league have a better record than that than
wow.
Phil Foden. Last weekend, Manchester Derby, Phil Foden was the main man. Kevin De Bruyne could be the man that turns up in this Manchester Derby, yes. But form tells you it'll be Phil Foden, though.
Proper pro to the second as well, putting me to shame with my 13 seconds remaining.
Was my mic a bit muffled then? Sorry, Mark.
No. It was fine. It was
hit
fine.
my shirt. Sorry, it's because it's on this thing. But yeah, if you couldn't understand what I was saying, it was basically, how can you not trust Phil Foden in this fixture? That's basically my point.
Oh God, I can't wait to show you my team, guys. I have got a massive benching headache. In fact, shall we show you my team now?
Yeah.
And we'll do a poll because I need your help here. Like, I am benching one of Phil Foden or Kevin De Bruyne. And at the moment, I've got Foden benched. And I said in my team reveal video that I did yesterday, I think I said I'm 60-40 going to bench Foden. So let's see what you guys think. We'll show my team and we'll do a poll. Should Gianni bench Foden or De Bruyne? But in an isolated week, if they're both, forget how much they cost, forget how many minutes you think they'll get, because I'm confident both start, and it doesn't matter what they cost for me in this decision. Who gets more points this week? I can't help but think, yes, Foden's form, but De Bruyne's on set pieces, he's playing closer to the goal, he's playing more central to the goal. He's literally playing in Haaland's shadow. Since he's been back from his injury, De Bruyne's only has played as a second striker. I can't help but I can't ignore that. So yeah, Foden's been amazing, and he could sting me. And last time I benched him, there was 20 points there from Foden against Brentford, the hat trick. But I think I just trust De Bruyne a little bit more.
Why can't you play both of them?
Because I can't bench Palmer. I mean, the others are, you have to play Saka and Son and Watkins, I think, right? I can't bench Palmer, can I?
I mean, I think so. Palmer hasn't been in great form.
Palmer's good, though. Palmer's Chelsea's only good. Palmer gets a big chance every game. He's on pens. Newcastle defence is shocking. I know they kept a clean sheet last time out, but boy, are they bad still. No Trippier.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like, Newcastle aren't looking great, but I mean, I'm certainly not going to say that Chelsea are going to turn up and play great either. I don't know. I think you've got more of a dilemma over starting Palmer than you have over starting Phil Foden.
Maybe we should do a new poll then. Maybe we
you've
should
got the best. You've got the most, in my eyes, on an eye test, the most informed player in the Premier League sat on your bench.
But he's going to Anfield. And I've already got 2 other Man City players, like triple City attack. I love triple City attack for Liverpool. I don't love.
Liverpool always concede goals, mate. And in recent home games, they've conceded against Norwich, they've conceded against Chelsea, they've conceded against Burnley, they've conceded against Luton. Man City are going to score in this game.
Yeah, but how many? What's the ceiling?
2.
Yeah, but Chelsea could batter Newcastle 3-0.
No, they won't. They won't. They're not good enough.
My bias. Let's do a poll with De Bruyne, Foden, Palmer, and let's chuck in Ollie Watkins. Which one do you bench? Because a few have said bench Watkins. So again, like, Tottenham is a really good fixture for Watkins. Like, forget who wins the football match, because Spurs could, but yes, Villa score. Like, Newcastle, Spurs defense. No. What's Norwich ever done to you, Dino?
It was just a stat I saw earlier, and they were listed in it. That's all I'm saying.
Chai says captain KDB. Chai, who would you bench out of those four? I think Chai's with me. He'd bench Foden. Chai, tell me who you would bench. But also, we'll do that poll with those four players: De Bruyne, Foden, Palmer, or what? I'm pretty sure I'm going to be benching Foden regardless because I've just made that decision. I think. But
what's your transfer?
Oh yeah, good point. The rest of my team, guys, that poll will be up in just a second. Really want your input on that. Chai, we're looking for your comments too. I am buying. God, this is the other thing, mate. I'm buying another Bournemouth defender. So Bell's going to go to Kirkez, and with that, it means I'm benching Gabriel. So on my bench, I'm going to have Foden and Gabriel. Should I bench boost? I don't think so because Taylor and Dubravka are a bit rubbish. But as an argument to say that take a 4-point hit, sell one of those others, upgrade them, and actually
that's actually not a bad shout at all.
Take a bench boost. But I just love the idea of having 15 players playing twice in a bench boost 37.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I totally get that.
Oh, the poll is out, and Chai says he would also be benching Foden. My boy, I knew Chai would say that. Yeah. Chai's on wildcard this week, I think.
Really, it's so tough. I mean, the other thing we haven't even talked about on this show yet is that Mo Salah is back this weekend. He came on. I spoke to a Liverpool journalist yesterday morning to try and get a steer on what sort of team we should expect, and he said to me, "Look, the plan is that tonight in Prague, Szoboszlai and Mo Salah both get some decent minutes, a good run out. If they both look okay, come through it, they start the game at the weekend, both of them."
Wow.
They both came on. They both did fine. Actually, both scored, but Salah's ruled out. And so Salah
Who'd they play? I've not even looked at Liverpool.
They played Sparta Prague last night and won 5-1.
Oh, no, what, this weekend?
Sorry?
Who they play this weekend? I've not even looked. I've not even looked at Liverpool.
What do you mean?
As in who they got this weekend? What fixture?
Man City.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were tricking me then. I thought you were tricking me.
I'm still looking at Graziano Pele's Wikipedia.
That really, really threw me. But yeah, so let's think back. Last season, Liverpool beat Man City 1-0. What was the difference? It was Mo Salah charging in, does a brilliant turn, runs from pretty much the halfway line, sticks it away, game over. If he starts this game, Mo Salah could turn it. It's a really, really tricky fixture for Man City. They hate going to Anfield, right? Pep hates Anfield. It rattles him massively, right? Because the Anfield crowd, look, they're not notoriously week after week noisy and amazing. Games like this,
they go big.
They do. And that does give them an edge in games like this. That the Etihad could be noisy, but it's never a match for Anfield. And that's what makes me wonder in a game like that. It's interesting. Greg Williams, KDB to Salah for a -4. I've already got Foden and Haaland.
No, not for a -4. Oh, maybe. Yes, for free. I'm just trying to think. Can you not do that move for free in game week 30? But is it worth the -4? Maybe it is.
It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, and also it gives you Salah at a time when nobody else has really got him.
True. He's actually a differential.
He's a differential for probably 1 week only.
Yeah.
And look, will he play the whole game? Probably not if he's only just come back from injury. But if what this guy said to me yesterday is right, and that the plan was, he'd obviously been training a week. We'd seen the pictures from the start of the week. Yeah. He's got on the pitch, come through it. It's highly unlikely that Mo Salah doesn't start this game if he's fine. And the chances are that they actually had him prepped to come in for this fixture. I was surprised that Darwin Núñez started on Thursday night. But again, it worked out perfectly because he played, scored 2 goals, comes off after 50 minutes. What an amazing run out that is for Darwin Núñez.
I tell you what, I want him back in my team come game week 30, 31. Yeah. I want Darwin in.
Yeah, he's a great pick as well. Just on Mo Salah, he has been directly involved in 17 goals in 19 matches against Man City. He's scored 11,
Christ.
assisted 7. He loves this fixture. Absolutely loves it.
And Pep will be so conscious of that. Like a lot of those games are against Pep, and he'd have gone, "What did I do wrong?" How like Pep is a tactical genius, and he very rarely sets his team up to combat one player on the opposition team. If he ever does that, it would be surely this fixture now against Liverpool. Like, what do you do in that game to stop Mo Salah? Is it purely a personnel thing? Who plays left back? Is it keeping the ball away from that side of the pit? I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's
I
really
mean,
interesting.
typically, this game becomes a bit of a basketball match and it goes end to end. If
Yeah,
you look back at highlights from Liverpool Man City
good
games,
games.
they're great games. They're great games. These typically are not cagey affairs. They're not games like,
Arsenal, Man City, which is
yeah,
under
and Liverpool,
Arteta.
Liverpool would have watched how Man United approached the Man City fixture last week and been like, what on earth are they doing? Like, this is a suicide mission.
Yeah.
And they won't do that. They will refuse to do that. So there is reason to believe that both teams score in this match. So it's trying to decipher like exactly where those goals come from. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty wild one. We should probably talk a bit about Solanke. You can switch it on my team if you want, producer. I don't really go into deep detail on it, but Solanke, we've got him on the image today. We haven't spoken to him about him much so far in this hour.
75%, I think, said yes, they'll own him. So there's only
Yeah.
25% watching that aren't interested in Solanke, but maybe we can convince you. Like, here's the standout captaincy option. There'll be loads triple captain in him that didn't triple captain Haaland.
Yeah. Now everyone's talking about just in the Solanke news. Let me see if there is new news or if this is just like.
I can't see any Solanke news. I am looking. I mean,
Um,
there is news around Man City and Man United, but no big news. Doku and
yeah.
Nunes are assessed for Man City. For Fulham, Raul Jimenez is still absent. We know that. For Man United, Rashford and Evans have recovered from their knocks. Hoyland's still out.
Yeah. There's a quote here. Let me just see if I can get it because I can set the actual direct quote. He hasn't trained fully with the team. We are trying to put him in the best positions to play. Hopefully, he'll train normally this evening. We'll take a decision much like we did previously. He's been playing through pain. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. We're trying to manage it with these 2 games we have. We don't want to put too much training on him. He's someone who's played and trained a lot of minutes. He will play. If that's like that I think I've already seen enough. He's playing.
Yeah.
Why would you make him train? Why does Solanke need to train? He doesn't.
Yeah.
I watched an interview with Kevin De Bruyne the other day, and he was talking about how little he's actually trained before his injury, like in the like year, 2 years before that. He was like, I've been in such a rhythm of like play match, recover, play match, recover, that I actually don't have that much time to train. And he's like, that this has been a really good time for me to be out. You don't need Solanke training. You know what he gives you. You've got to give him if you want to use up his energy, you want to use his time in the matches. Chris Marshall says, not on form, not fully fit, not a pick for me. Wow.
Ooh.
That is a very nice.
I mean, he looked all right against Burnley. Like, I didn't think he looked bad. He had heavy strapping on his knee. It's the fixtures though. Bournemouth play at home the worst 2 defenses in the league by a country mile. They've conceded 59 goals between them away from home. They haven't kept a single clean sheet away from home, Luton and Sheffield United.
Yeah. And look, we're all going to go Haaland captain otherwise, right? If you don't go Solanke, you're probably sticking it on Haaland, right? Like normal. But what's Haaland going to do? Like, say he scores twice at Anfield. Great, obviously. Solanke scoring 2 goals across 2 games against those 2. Surely Solanke's at least matching whatever Haaland can do in one match.
And he gets the appearance points. And he gets bonus points in both those games if he scores goals. Like, you have to go for a double. Honestly, if I wasn't going Solanke this week, I'd still be going for a double game weeker. I'd probably go Neto. Or, I'd be tempted on Morris. I'd be tempted on Doughty.
Yeah, would you? Yeah.
I think so. Like, the double game week for Bournemouth is just so good. Like, I
Yeah,
think Luton will probably score against Bournemouth because Luton do seem to score against most teams. So,
yeah,
but I definitely see one Bournemouth clean sheet, and I definitely see save points for Neto. I definitely see attacking returns for Solanke, and I probably see an attacking return for Doughty in those 2 games if he plays left wing back.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw a comment. I've lost it now, saying that Lungani saying Sheffield United are better away from home. I mean, yeah, but they come much. It's not great, mate. They lost to Wolves away 1-0. Yes, they beat Luton. It's their only recent victory. They won at Luton 3-1. But we just talked about how, in fact, Luton aren't very good themselves at keeping balls out. They played Palace away, conceded 3 goals against a team that have barely done that in months. Let's go back. They lost to 2-0 away to Man City. Drew away to Villa. That's quite a good result. Lost to Chelsea 2-0 away. Lost 5-0 to Burnley away. Like it's not exactly setting the world on fire, is it? Like this is form that is not filling you with that much confidence that Sheffield United are going to keep this team at bay.
Yeah, I agree. Semenyo, by the way, British 87, it says Semenyo for me is an excellent deputy. He really is. The problem for Semenyo, why no one's buying him this week, is he's listed as a forward, and we've all really struggling for space in the front line. In midfield, if Semenyo was a 4.5 or even a 5.5 or 6 million midfielder, we'd all buy Semenyo because he's 90 minutes, he's in form, he's sharp, he's got goal threat. But let's move away from my team. I am, as I said, doing Kirkez in from Bell. It means benching Gabriel and Foden. Let's have a look. Captaincy poll is up as well. Who are you captaining this game week? Let us know who you are captaining out those 4 players. I think Solanke's going to be at 90% on this poll. Dean, your decisions this week. You've made 1 transfer or 2? 2.
2, yeah. I had 2 free transfers. So Neto and Zabani came in. Obviously, at the moment, I've got Porro and Walker on the bench. I don't.
You prefer Bradley though? I guess Bradley's at home.
I mean, at the moment, I just kept Bradley in. He was just already in there, so I've just left it as was. I don't know. Do I leave Bradley in, or do I just bring Porro in for Bradley?
Adoji started on his first game back, and he's similar sort of time out than Porro. Like Adoji came straight into the 11. He wasn't like eased in with half an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know. Every player is different, but I think there's a chance Porro does start straight away, rather than getting a 20-minute cameo, which is what you don't want.
Yeah.
And Emerson's no deputy.
No. So I guess that's my main decision to make, actually.
Porro or Bradley, yeah.
Yeah, Porro or Bradley. ISG says leave Bradley in. I mean, again, I do think Liverpool concede in this game, but I do think Bradley potentially has assist points, like the way that he could find the breakthrough for this goal. I am definitely tempted to keep him as well. Yeah, I'll have to decide tonight. I'm going out tonight for a couple of beers for a friend's birthday. You know, that Brewdog. Have you been to the Brewdog at Waterloo yet? The one that's got the big slide. Yeah, it is a cool pub.
It's got a slide in the pub.
It's got the upstairs is like a bar, and then it's got a bar downstairs too. And if you want to go to the downstairs bar, it's got this big metal slide, and you can just go down it to the bar that's downstairs.
I love a gimmick. That sounds fun.
It is a good gimmick. It is a lot of fun. Obviously a bit chaos once it gets to about 10, 11 o'clock at night, but it's also funny.
Pouring a beer down there.
Anyway, I barely drink these days. I'm a bit worried that I'm going to make this decision after a few beers tonight, and it might not necessarily be the right one.
One of the proverbs that I wrote in the like full pages of my books, we had like 10 proverbs. One of them was "Don't drink an FPL." Like honestly, don't drink an FPL. Right. Yeah, Brewdog, major hipster pub. Ha, yeah.
It is, yeah, it absolutely is a complete gimmick, but they do good beers. Brewdog had some of my favourite beers, and it is a great place. It is a really cool pub. It's not cheap.
Don't wildcard. Adam says Dino drunk wildcard time. Imagine come on Monday's show. We're like, yeah, wildcarded.
Let's stick a fight some wildcarded.
Love that. Guys, it's been loads of fun chatting to you. We've answered loads of questions in today's show. Hopefully you're enjoying it. In terms of captaincy, as like a final thought, I said I was a bit over optimistic saying 90%, but 74% are captain Solanke. And earlier, only 74-ish% said they were going to own Solanke. So the take is, if you own him, pretty much the world and their dog are captaining him if they own him. If they don't, then they probably own Morris in that slot, and therefore they're probably captaining Morris.
Very good.
We're back on Monday, I think. Is there games? I've not even looked. I think we're back on Monday.
Let's have a quick.
Oh, there is a game. It's a rubbish one because it's Chelsea, Newcastle, and there's games on Wednesday anyway. So I assume we'll still be doing a Monday stream.
Yeah, I don't think that one affects us. Yeah, because we want to reflect on Liverpool, Man City as well, won't we? So probably still do Monday lunchtime. Yeah,
I like that.
Sorry, West Coast Americans.
Yeah.
Won't happen next season when I'm the one who has to get up.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. We'll be thinking about our timings for next season. Now, Dean's going to be in San Diego. Maybe I'm sure we'll be flexible to different ones. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hey, drop a comment on the video, not in the chat, but in the actual video with, if you are watching Chasing Green Arrows on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, what would be your preferred time slot? Give us your UK preferred time slot in the comments to this video. We look forward to seeing them.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
Guys, thank you very much for now. You've been the Amazing Chasers. He's been Mr. Dean Jones. I've been Gianni Battici, and we've all been, and we're all going to get big fat green arrows. See you later.